journey toward improvement. Stupid comes from somewhere. It is an effect, an outcome, not a cause. When you start looking behind that label stupid, you will find lots of things that actually make sense. Where people were looking at the time, which things they considered important to focus on, what knowledge they brought to bear, which interacting goals they were trying to achieve simultaneously, what resource constraints they were trying to make up for, what work they were trying to get done despite all the obstacles you may well have helped put in their way. If you think your people were doing stupid things, then muster the courage to go behind that label and face up to what you find. Stop stupid by fixing your system, because otherwise the label stupid might well stop with you and stick. Sidney Dekker, Professor, Griffith University, Australia, and Delft University of Technology, Netherlands. Introduction. We believe that the title of a book is perhaps its most critical characteristic. We acknowledge that the title, You Can Stop Stupid, is controversial. We had considered other possible titles, such as Stopping Human Attacks, but such a title does not convey the essence of this book. Although we do intend to stop attacks that target your users, the same methodology will stop attacks by malicious insiders as well as accidents. The underlying problem is not that users are the targets of attacks, or that they accidentally or maliciously create damage, but that users have the ability to make decisions or take actions that inevitably lead to damage. That is the fundamental issue this book addresses, and it makes a critical distinction. The problem lies not necessarily in the user, but also in the environment surrounding the people performing operational functions. What is stupid? Managers, security specialists, IT staff, and other professionals often complain that employees, customers, and users are stupid. But what is stupid? The definition of stupid is having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense. First, let's examine the attribute of showing a great lack of intelligence. When your organization hires and reviews people, you generally assess whether they have the requisite intelligence to perform the required duties. If you did hire or retain an employee knowing that they lacked the necessary intelligence to do the job, who is actually stupid in this scenario? The employee or the employer? Regarding a person who shows a great lack of common sense, there is a critical psychological principle regarding common sense. You cannot have common sense without common knowledge. Therefore, someone who is stupid for demonstrating a great lack of common sense is likely suffering from a lack of common knowledge. Who is responsible for ensuring that the person has such common knowledge? That responsibility belongs to the people who place or retain people in positions within the organization. In general, don't accuse someone in your organization of being stupid. Instead, identify and adjust your own failings in bad employment or training practices, as well as the processes and technologies that enable the stupidity. Do you create stupidity? When people talk about employee, customer, and other user stupidity, they are often thinking of the actions those users take that cause damage to your organization. In this book, we refer to that as user-initiated loss, UIL. The simple fact is that a user can't initiate loss unless an organization creates an environment that puts them in a position to do so. While organizations do have to empower employees, customers, and other users to perform their tasks, in most environments there is little thought paid to proactively reducing UIL. It is expected